Title: What a Beautiful Surprise. Her voice was light, almost playful when she said it. "By the way," she began, fingers tracing the rim of her wine glass, "I have 3 teenage daughters you'll be supporting after the wedding. Surprise." The restaurant noise dimmed around me. Even the fork in my hand felt foreign, heavy, metallic, like it belonged to someone else. 3 daughters. Supporting? After the wedding? She smiled when she said it, a rehearsed smile. The kind you wear when you've practiced a line in the mirror and convinced yourself it'll land softly. I matched her smile. "What a beautiful surprise," I whispered. She laughed, relieved. She thought I took it well. She had no idea she'd just opened a door I would never close again. That night, she kissed me goodnight like nothing had changed. But something had. Inside, the air had shifted. Something cold and precise started moving behind my ribs, an instinct I hadn't felt in years. The next morning, her coffee mug was on my counter. Lipstick on the rim, a faint print of her chaos on my order. 3 daughters. Teenage. Hidden. How do you forget to mention 3 lives? My mind played it over again. Her phrasing, the casual tone. Not a confession, an announcement. Like she was granting me an opportunity. 2 months before the wedding. 2 months before I signed my name onto a shared life, shared debts, shared lies. I checked her photos. No trace of children. Not one. Her social media history was curated, perfectly sterile. No school events, no birthdays, no signs of a past. That's when the thought surfaced. Quiet, poisonous. Maybe this wasn't her first time doing this. I tried to ignore it, for a while, but once doubt enters, it breeds, and it doesn't stop until it's fed. At dinner that night, she told me she loved me. I smiled, said it back, but I watched her eyes. They didn't flinch when she lied. I started with the simple things. A background check. Just routine, I told myself. Curiosity. Self-preservation. The report came half clean. But one address led to another. One last name, slightly altered, and then another. The private investigator I hired didn't ask many questions. He'd seen enough faces like mine, smiling on the surface, burning underneath. 3 days later, he called. His tone was careful, professional. "Sir, you might want to sit down for this." 5 marriages. 5 men. Each one lasting less than 2 years. Each one financially gutted by the end. I remember staring at my reflection in the dark window, the phone against my ear. 5. She hadn't mentioned 1. I told him to dig deeper. I wanted details, patterns. And the more he found, the more it made sense. The secrecy, the sudden charm, the calculated softness. She was never in love with me. She was preparing me. Every text, every plan, every wedding detail, it all looked different now. Like watching a play after learning it's a con. That night, I lay next to her. She fell asleep easily. I didn't. I listened to her breathe, wondering how many times she'd done the same, lying next to a man she'd already chosen to destroy. The investigator sent the file a week later. 5 marriage certificates, 5 divorce settlements, 5 names of men who'd all ended up bankrupt, broken, or both. And 1 photo. Her, younger, smiling with 3 little girls. Her daughters, the ones I'd never heard of. I printed everything, placed it neatly in a black folder, and waited. When she arrived that evening, she was radiant, excited about wedding flowers, cake tastings, her dress fitting. She talked about forever while I poured her a drink. I slid the folder across the table. She frowned, hesitated, then opened it. I watched the color drain from her face. Page after page, name after name. The picture of her and the children, the same smile repeated through time. She tried to speak, but her voice broke halfway. "Where did you get this?" I didn't answer. I just looked at her, calm, Still, the way surgeons look before the first incision. Her hand trembled. Tears formed, but they weren't real. Not grief, not remorse, just panic. "You don't understand," she whispered. I did, perfectly. I canceled the venue the next morning. The deposit? Gone. The reservation? Deleted. She found out through the coordinator's call, screaming, hysterical, disbelief twisting her words. Then came the real call. Her number flashed on my phone for an hour before I answered. "What did you do?" she demanded, her voice fractured. "I discovered who I was marrying," I said. "You can't just—" "I can. And I did." She started to cry, but the sound was hollow, mechanical, practiced. Maybe it had worked before. Maybe others had folded at the sound of her breaking. Not me. "You thought you could do it again," I said quietly. "One more husband. One more clean exit." Silence. Then a choked laugh. Half anger, half fear. "You think you're smarter than me?" "No," I replied. "Just less blind." I ended.